Go anywhere online, you see one thing. Who is the greatest of all time? It goes with any sport. It goes with hockey. Who's better? Sidney Crosby, Wayne Gretzky. It goes to basketball. LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Luka Doncic, Larry Bird. It goes to baseball. Okay, Aaron Judge, Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, Ted Williams. Go anywhere. But to truly answer that question, you have to really deeply think. Because it is not as easy as barflies getting drunk and arguing. It's not that easy. Because you have to think. Let's use the example: LeBron James, Larry Bird. We're going to use a hypothetical time machine for a second here. You have to put Larry Bird into this era, put the time machine, put him up here. You give him the diets, the training. His back surgeries would definitely be more advanced. He'd be able to last longer in the league. With the brain, the only thing he can keep is his brain. Everything else, he's going to have actual muscle tone. Then you do LeBron James. Bring him back in the time machine. He has to face off against the bad boys of the 80s, and he has to face off in a time when they destroyed you if you tried to go under the basket, and it was simple foul. Now, I'm using this example. I'm not using this to make the comparison. I mean, they're both. LeBron James is an all-time great, but you have to be honest about this. Seriously, is LeBron going to look like he looks if he goes back then, where the diet was basically a couple cheeseburgers and a beer before the game? And is Larry Bird going to look like a skinny truck driver? No, none of those things. It's a different world, and we have to think about that. All you're using is their superior brains. And the same goes for baseball. I'll just use two names from now in the past: Aaron Judge and Ted Williams. Now, we already know about Ted Williams and his lack of striking out. And we know about how genius of a hitter he was. But let's use Aaron Judge's name for a second. You have to put him in an era where Polo Grounds was 465 feet out the center field. He is a very strong guy, and they do hit 480 feet now. But if it's 465 to center, you know darn good and well that the right field and left field are going to be longer also. Is he going to hit any home runs? No matter if he's 6'7", 295. And would he be 6'7"? He'd always be 6'7", but would he be that muscular in those days? You have to ask that question. And the same with Ted Williams. The thing about Ted Williams is, he has the brain. He has the brain to do this. He has the brain to be a hitter. That would never change. We're going to let him keep that. But you face the same pitcher every single time. Every single game. Now they face 4 or 5 pitchers at a time. Some have changeups, some have curveballs, some are power pitchers. He didn't have to adapt to anybody but that one pitcher at the time. Not saying he wouldn't adapt. He's an all-time great. But there are questions you have to ask. Would Wayne Gretzky score all of those goals and get all those points now? To me, I don't think so. It's not an open game anymore. It's a very mechanical game. Way different now. Way different. He probably would score about 1,000 points less now. And they're just much more athletic. Sidney Crosby has those kind of skills, and he's always about 240. And if Wayne Gretzky in his prime was $175, I'd be shocked. Different, and he had his own bodyguards to begin with. So different day, different time. Everything in sports is different day, different time. And this isn't going to change anything. You're still going to have these bar and these barbershop debates. You're going to have them forever. But you also have to think deeper. Because no one ever seems to do that. They just think automatically, LeBron James would just run over Larry Bird if he went in the 80s. LeBron James is in an era where if you sneeze on him, it's a foul. And that's not his fault. That's not. But it's the time. It's the times we're in. Could he survive in those times? To survive in those times, he'd have to have absolutely no workouts. He'd probably get hurt more, and he'd probably retire quick, just like Bird did, just like Jordan did, to be honest. This is why I say this is the golden era now. No matter how many people disagree with me, this is why. We have all of the best of everything now, and for the rest of our days we will. So make sure to appreciate what we have. And if you want to keep up the debate, you can, but just think a little bit. Just think a little deeper.